Hi everyone, so my name is Dr. Sheila and I am a naturopath working here in Toronto. Today I wanted to talk to you about stress and how it affects what we eat. So what's really cool about this is that somebody actually studied this. Somebody actually did the research to look into when people are chronically stressed, how do they eat? And so I'm going to share with you kind of what they found. So first off, stress. That's that fight or flight response of, oh my God, there's a bear, let me run away from the bear and survive. All right, present moment, our stress response has turned into much more of this kind of chronic stress, which is we go on the TTC, we're stressed because there's so many people around us, but then we go to work and we have all these deadlines, and so we're stressed again. And then we come home and we're trying to manage 5 things at once to make our household work. And so that sense of stress never really leaves us. And so our nervous system is not designed to be on all the time. It's supposed to go on and then off. But the way that we're reacting with our lives, our stress response is chronically elevated. So maybe you've heard about cortisol. Cortisol is the major stress hormone, and it's released by your adrenal glands. A lot of people are kind of coming into my office and saying, hey, I think I have an issue with my cortisol. And my answer is always like, probably. I think most of us do have some sort of dysregulation with cortisol these days. How is this affecting the way you eat? So if you're going through your life chronically somewhat stressed, it's making you grab things that are highly processed, filled with fat and sugar and salt. It's making you reach for those fast calories. So cortisol wants to flood your body with energy so that you can run away from the bear. How does it do that? Well, it breaks down a whole bunch of fat and protein to release a whole bunch of glucose into your bloodstream so that you have fast energy, so that you can be fast. Now, that also means, so you're burning all this energy because you're trying to run, but then you're also getting signals to eat more nutrients, eat more fast calories, because your body thinks that it still needs more energy, that it needs more energy because it's still running. Not the case, right? You're not running, you're actually not going to be spending all the energy that you're consuming. Your body doesn't know that. Your body's still sending you signals to consume fast calories, calorie dense food, which is like all of the delicious fats and hamburgers and whatever, all the things that you grab for. They're really energy rich, and so your body is doing exactly what it's been trained to do, or exactly how it's evolved to work. So what did the research show? The research actually shows that when we're stressed, we eat more processed food and we eat less vegetables and fruit. I just kind of nerd out on the science of the fact that you kind of knew that was true, but now we have the science to back it up. Like now we have a pretty little graph that says, hey, this is not just you, this is a significant part of the population reacts this way when we're stressed, is we eat in this pattern. I like knowing that it's not just me. I like knowing that it's not just my patients. I feel like that's really helpful in terms of keeping it all in perspective. So we're going to kind of come back to that at the end of this video to talk about some things about self-compassion. So you've run away from a bear / gone to work. Your body has been flooded with cortisol, and you reach for all of these kind of highly dense foods. What can you do to change that relationship, right? What can you do if you have one stressful day and you eat a chocolate bar? Absolutely fine. If you have a month of stressful days and you eat a chocolate bar every month, not fine, right? So we actually need to put some strategies in place to help us curb what's happening in our bodies. So first of all, and I always start here, So you have to be aware. So stepping out of autopilot, noticing when you're making that choice, when you're always reaching for sugar or sweets or chips, you gotta notice, oh, I'm always reaching for this processed food. And then that's when you can make a change, right? Not before, but that's when you can make the change of like, oh yeah, I'm eating all this food. Yeah, I've noticed that I'm pretty stressed right now. What can I do to help myself out? There's a few things that you can do. One is to make sure that you're drinking enough water. Often, if we're not drinking enough water, that's adding to our stress. So the body, if it's dehydrated, it will read that as something stressful. So take care of it. Make sure you're drinking a little bit more water during stressful periods. Or better yet, make sure you're drinking water all the time. All right? Second, because I love to talk about protein, when we're really stressed, we tend to break down more protein. So your body rips through it at a faster rate because you're under stress and you're mobilizing all that energy. So when you're stressed, I want you to eat more protein. I already wanted you to eat more protein, and now you're stressed, and so now I want you to eat even more protein. So in your meals, I want you to look for eggs or Greek yogurt, nuts and seeds, tofu, beans, meat. Just pick something that's easy. Oftentimes, you can kind of grab and go like a hard-boiled egg, or you could buy one of those rotisserie chickens, or just make sure that there's a lot of protein in your diet. The other thing that maybe you want to come and talk to me in person about is that there are certain nutrients that kind of help us put the brakes on our nervous system. So things like vitamin C and magnesium, vitamin D, and then maybe a fish oil might be good for you too. So if you have questions about dosages and whether or not it's a good fit for you, that's something that you might want to come and have an in-person appointment or a virtual appointment with me, and so that we can fine-tune the best supplement strategy for your chronically stressed / possibly burnt out state. So those are some of the things that you can do to kind of minimize that stressful junk food eating part of your brain. Drink more water, eat more protein, and then make it easy. So anything that's like a pre-packaged protein-filled meal that's going to work for you. So next I want to talk about just stress management. I think people at this point are like so sick and tired of hearing that everything's linked to stress because they don't know what to do about it, right? So this is something where it's helpful to have a conversation, and partially it's because you need to explore. What works for me is not going to work for you necessarily. So what does work for you? What helps you feel more relaxed? Is it knocking a few things off of your to-do list? Is it making sure that you make time for exercise? Is it checking out breath work? Breath work is like all over the podcast these days, and it's pretty cool. Like there's some really good research supporting some breath work. So maybe there's something that works for you, you just haven't found it yet. And so I usually help my patients explore and try new things and really pay attention to what works and what doesn't work. People have a lot of ideas of what should work to reduce their stress, and then they do it and they're like, oh, I hate this. I never want to meditate again. That's real. That's fine. Let's try something else. So the last thing I want to mention in this video is what I said about self-compassion. When it comes to eating junk food, processed food, our inner critics usually kind of just yell an immense amount of shame in our direction. So you're already stressed out, and then you've just got this critic in your head, this voice in your head telling you that you're lazy, or that you're doing it wrong, or that you're like all of the negative things that voice likes to say, and that is adding to your stress. So in your moment of stress, in your moment of occasionally eating processed food, I think I just want to give you permission. I want you to give yourself permission to do that a little bit. To be like, oh, this is a stressful period. It's not going to last forever. I'm going to eat this way. And just keep checking in with yourself. This is okay for right now. If it becomes more of a long-term issue, then I need to make the change, right? So that checking in, is it okay for right now? Yes. Is it okay long-term? No. How long have I been eating like this? All right. And usually we just need to talk to ourselves better. We just need to better understand the fact that we're under a lot of stress. Maybe we need to talk to a friend. Maybe we just need some downtime. Maybe we just need to kind of get support in any way that looks like, if it's a therapist, a friend, a coworker, or even just time by yourself. So those are all of my hacks about stress, and I would seriously invite you to come and talk to me so that we can put together a really well-rounded treatment strategy for your stress/burnout. But if you're eating some junk food on a stressful day, I'm okay with it. I hope you are too. Okay.